It's very foggy out today, early in the morning, and I guess it's a good time to go out and try for some foggy shots. So, right? It's foggy and 45 degrees and drizzly. Who in the world wants to go out and take pictures in this kind of weather? I do. At least I hope I do. Find out when I get there. Well, that sucks. Right, so it appears that the park is closed today. It's always closed in the wintertime until March, but you can still park and you can walk in, you just can't drive in. But looks like today there must be an event. I have no idea what's going on. Thankfully, there is another side to this park, which is not part of the park proper. So I'll take a couple minutes and drive on over there. Alright, so we'll give it a try from this side of the lake. I've been over here before, but I usually go that way. But it's a pretty long trek, and I don't have all the time that I wish I had, so I think I'm going to go the other way today. So, one of my main purposes in coming out today was because it was foggy, and I thought maybe some good foggy shots down by the water would be worthwhile. But now that I'm here, I see that the majority of the fog has dissipated. It's begun to lift. I don't know. A mile to the west, it was extremely foggy, so maybe there's still something to be found. Still worth the hike. Still worth getting out. So let's see what we can find. So, on the way down the hill, I found this little bit of web with some dewdrops and everything on it. And I thought that might make a nice close-up shot. So, I got the camera in nice and tight on it. Now, one of the issues is that because I'm as close as I am right now to the web, as you can see, I'm only about 6 inches from the lens to the web itself. The depth of field is pretty shallow on it, and so I want the leaves in the background to be blurred out. So that's not my point of interest. But the closer you get and the more shallow your depth of field, the less of the web itself you actually get in focus. So you'll get the parts that are closest will be out of focus, and the part that is furthest away of it will be out of focus, and you only have a little bit in the middle. So what you have to do in that case is manipulate your aperture. So if you have it wide open, you're going to get the most shallow depth of field. So I'm going to take a shot, and I'm going to back it off, and I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to make it a little smaller. I'm going to do it again. And I'll get a series of them. Now, as I do that, the background will begin to come more in focus. But I will eventually find a point where I am happy with the amount of the web that I actually get in focus. Basically, I as an artist had to make a decision about what my tolerance is for parts of it being out of focus. Birds are out. Definitely. We've gone through a warm stretch. Last week, we had a couple of days that were in the 70s. And just a week before that, it was in the 30s. And not long before that, it was down in the single digits. And now we're back down in the 40s again. So it's springtime in the mid-Atlantic. It's going to be uphill, downhill for a while. But one thing that I've noticed while I'm working is that there is just enough breeze today to catch that web and make it wiggle. Which means that my photos are coming in, coming out, I should say, out of focus because they're moving. So, that being the case, I'm going to have to get a faster shutter speed. In order to get a faster shutter speed, I have to do one of two things. I either have to bump up my ISO, or I have to open my aperture wider. Now, if I want to avoid that extremely shallow depth of field, then that leaves only one solution, and that's bumping up my ISO. So I'm going to have to go ahead and suck it up and bump it up from 200. I'll start with 400 and I'll get a 800, and I'll see which one seems to give me the fastest shutter speed. So moving the ISO up to 800 eventually gave me anywhere between an eighth and a tenth of a second on here, which is better. So it's a definite difference between the two of them. So for something as delicate as that, I guess that's where I'm going to be today. So while I'm here, I'm also going to take an opportunity to show the difference between having the polarizing filter on today and not having it on, or I should say using it and not using it. And you'll see exactly what I mean. Take a look at these two photos. In both photos, you'll notice a white blob in the middle of the image, and that's just the fact that I focused through the dew-covered web, since the camera was already set. But in the first photo, you can see there's a lot of gray. It's very pale. There's a lot of light reflecting off of the moisture that's on all of the leaves, and so the color is extremely muted. But if you look at the second photo, you'll notice that the color is much brighter, it's much cleaner. All of that wet gray look has disappeared simply by rotating the polarizing filter about 90 degrees. It makes a pretty strong difference. There are a few white-tailed deer right over there. They're looking at me. They hear me talking and see the tail. She's looking at me, trying to figure out what I'm doing. The other one's ran, but she hasn't run yet. She's just trying to figure out what to do. And there she goes. There was a trail. I'm looking at it. It gets over here and we just get into a mess, I guess, where some of the branches are. A trail around here somewhere. Well, that's not good. I'm curious to see what this might look like. There's a whole bunch of moss and lichen covered oaks and some birch and sycamore in there. So you've got this mix of bright white branches and bright green in with the browns. Now the sky's a little overexposed. It's a little flat, but I don't know, I'll give it a try. Maybe there's something worth finding in here. If I can boost the contrast a little bit, bracket my shots so I can get one where the sky isn't so washed out. I'm not really interested in the sky. I'm more interested in this. Got this one crooked one sticking up here, which kind of ruins the whole look here, so I might move around and find a little better angle that doesn't have that in it. Take a look. That one has some potential. Unfortunately, the one thing it doesn't have, which is very helpful in especially landscape photography, is a foreground element. Something that grabs your attention and just leads you into the photo. Something nice and up close. And the hill just kind of dropped away from me, so that's all going to become about lines at that point without any real foreground interest. But still, it's good practice and maybe something to be made with it. Okay, not my usual thing, but I'm interested in the truck. It's been sitting there for quite a while, so I'm still going to stay on my side of the fence, but I'm going to find a way over there and see if I can get an angle on this old truck. So again, a good opportunity for the polarizer. I'm going to take a few different shots of this, and I'm going to turn my polarizer just a little bit and take another one, and turn it just a little bit and take another one, and look at the differences in the way the color shows up and the way the moisture reflects off of it. Just the whole way the image changes, because in the back of my camera right now, I can't decide which one I actually like better. So let's see what I can do with it. By the way, if you like the content, if you like what I'm doing, if you're enjoying yourself, if you're finding it at all helpful, click the like button, subscribe, share it with your friends, go and visit my website, which you will see right underneath my face. Find me on Facebook as well. Okay, for those of you who've never heard that before, the sound of all those crows having a fit means there's some animal up there that they're not happy about. Usually it's a hawk or an owl will be up there, and the crows are harassing it to try and chase them off. I can see them, but I'm on the other side of the stream right now. And I'm not sure what it is, but maybe I'll find out when I get up there. And here we see the rare eastern earbud. No stranger to these parts, but obviously did not survive the winter and could not handle the harsh climate. So very sad. And they are indeed chasing, I think, an owl. Because just a moment ago I actually heard a great horned owl in the daytime, which is not common. I just saw him chasing it. It's up in that tree right there. And while I wasn't looking, the owl flew off. And they are chasing it. It went to find another place. I've finished the loop, and I'm on my way back to the car. As the rain is slowly picking up, so looks like good time to head out and get some breakfast. It's about 9:30, and I've already had a full morning in it, so not a bad day. I'll take these images home, play with them, and see if there's anything good. And if there is indeed anything worth sharing, I will gladly share it with you. And I guess that's it. Until next time. Have a good one.